Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Joanna, yearlonglife, and I'm going to share with you my progress tracker because I think this is something I watched or learned about in Raquel in theory, and I really loved it. So I kind of have a version of getting things done, that system, and then also a version of bullet journaling, and then I'm incorporating this progress tracker as well. So in the notes section of my Hobonichi, I have just set up the first page to be my projects page. And here I'm writing in things that are gonna take me more than one step to complete. So if it's really something that just is not just one sole task that I can just check off and complete straight away, it goes in my projects list at the back of my book. And you can see in the planner here that you kind of have two sections. So I'm using this left section as kind of a progress tracker, and then this right section as the actual thing that I want to complete. So I'm working on making them better defined, but sometimes you just have a project and you know that you want to do it, but you don't have enough information yet about what the end result is going to be. So for example, learning a language, I know now where I want to be with a language like Portuguese. I want to get to B2 level, and so that's my kind of end result, and if I do that, then I've completed it. So in here I have my list of tasks. Some of them are easier to complete than others, some of them require more time, and I just put a little dot next to the project when I feel like I've made some progress. This is completely intuitive. It's really, you're going on gut feeling here, and it's a really great way to really think about any projects that are getting left behind, you know, or if you're not making any progress whatsoever, is this really something that is worth taking up your time? Do you actually just need to park it in your tickler file, for example? So tickler, it's like a file that you would put off until the future, and you review this every month, right? So I'm at the beginning of the month. These are my projects that I want to work on, and so I'm trying to incorporate these into my planner. So for example, the first one, build a capsule wardrobe, and I want to start investing in pieces of clothing that are sustainable, and so I might need to do a little journaling about that project here, or I already have some ideas of the clothing that I would need. I try and think of what would be the very next thing that I need to do to make this project a reality. And you're really going on your gut feeling and your intuition, and I think I really would need to make an inventory of pieces and clothing that I already have. So I'm going to head back to my weekly page. This is my current ongoing weekly page, and in my next actions I'm going to write down the very next thing that I can complete that would mean that I make progress on my projects. So I'm going to write here, create inventory of current clothing. And that will be my next step, and once I completed that, then I can return to the project and think more about what I feel would be the very next step. And it takes practice, and I think the more that you practice finding the next step and planning naturally, then you will get better at it and understand more about what needs to happen next. So other things, like there are some longer term projects here, like for example, get pregnant, have a baby. So here I would need to move to my systems that I have in place. You know, obviously that there are a few things that need to happen for that to become a reality. So you might need to save money, or you might need to think about some conversations that you need to have with your partner, or you need to start taking your supplements, getting some checks at the doctor. So part of that for me is tracking my cycles and tracking my moods, trying to get down to a healthier weight, taking my supplements, so I'm taking track of my habits. I am fasting or learning more about fasting. I'm keeping track of my moods, I'm keeping track of my cycles, and so these kind of all interlink. And part of the fun I find of having a planner or a system or a notebook is trying to find ways to, manage all of these projects, and figure out, just have it kind of a snapshot of some of the things you're working on in your year, and just have it kind of in one place. So that's a little idea for projects, tracking projects, keeping track of them, and really here you want the end result. So you want to be able to return to this and be able to check it off as the completed project, but there are many steps to get there, and I might decide actually there are some projects that I need to put off, or there might be some projects that need a little more clarity in the ending, so I might add to them, or I might just cross it out and rewrite it below once I have more clarity about how this project should actually be defined and finished. So yeah, I hope that gives you some ideas for tracking your projects, and I'd love to hear any projects that you guys are working on currently, or if you have another way that you really like tracking your projects, just let me know, and look forward to hearing from you.